Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brant with CPC Bodybuilding, the home of men's classic physique. Today, I've got a special treat for you guys. Going to be previewing the San Antonio Pro and men's classic physique with a special guest. Today's special guest is IFBB Pro Jared Feather, also a member of Renaissance Periodization, leading the way in evidence-based hypertrophy training. So if you guys are not already schooled up on RP, Jared can give you the lowdown on that, but I'm using their training app right now, and it's absolutely fantastic. Could not recommend anymore. Jared, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. I appreciate that. A nice little sliding that product placement in there. That's
Hey, man, I wouldn't promote it if I didn't use it. So,
no, man. I love it. I love it. It's really cool. Yeah. So, IFBB Pro and Classic Physique. I'm probably just going up to the Open. We'll see how the next year or two goes. Had a few poor placings and some fun pro classic shows, and I got fifth in my pro debut. That was really cool. But so I'm here to critique physiques far better than mine with Brant here. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, RP strength, physique coach. We put out a bunch of stuff on YouTube. We have a huge YouTube channel, nearly 1 million subscribers. So if you're interested in learning about hypertrophy training, fat loss, how to be a better coach, things like that, head over there. We have a bunch of cool stuff. I have my own personal YouTube channel. And then all of our pages, we try to just post training content and teach people how to get jacked, all that fun stuff that we like to do.
yes, sir. So before we get rolling with the San Antonio Pro guys, just make sure you go over to Jared's pages. So here we've got him on Instagram.
Oh, that
His
guy.
handle is Jared_Feather. So give him a follow here. And then you can also find that hypertrophy app that I talked about here in his link tree. And then also he's been a lot more active on YouTube as of recent, and you can find him here at Jared Feather RP. So he's been posting a lot of his vlogs from training recently. I don't know if you guys have seen, but he's been doing some collabs with some of the big names in fitness, such as Tristan Lee and Nick Walker, of course. So make sure
Like
you
the
guys.
coach Tristan Foley, and then I do Nick's training and Guy Cisternino, a few other people. It's a lot of fun.
So make sure you guys give him a subscribe. Go check out some of his videos as well. So we got a really exciting show this weekend. So this is a Saturday show. It's a Tim Gardner show, and Tim always puts on an awesome show. So here we've got the full lineup. So the San Antonio Pro prejudging starts at 12:30 Central Time. Finals will be at 4 Central. And there is a live stream available. Although if you try to go to the page right now, you do get an error, but you can go to timgardnerproductions.com and eventually click on the pay-per-view or the stream contests button there to find that. And it should be somewhere in between $20 and $30. I know Tim usually keeps his stream prices down relative to a lot of other promoters. So another reason why Tim is one of the OGs in
And if anybody's questioning that quality too, they like you said, their production's amazing. It's
absolutely.
going to be a high quality live stream. It always is. They do a phenomenal job.
So San Antonio Pro lineup, we'll run through it real quick, and then we'll go through each guy, then give our top five. So first up, we've got Gabriel Aguirre from Mexico, Todd Akers, Hamza Al-Cordy, Cody Amy, Anthony Barbera III, Terrence Bonds, Phil Bowman, Harold Bright Jr., Kelly Burke, Bernardo Costa, Camilo Diaz, Jorge Guerrero, Vince Gentile, Jim Holcomb, Jared Keys, Courage Opara, Andre Porter, Ruben Lopez Reyes, Oshanda Roden, Jeremiah Willies, and unlisted on this is Kellen Wilson out of Canada and Mark Zamora. So that is your full classic physique lineup for the San Antonio Pro. And we'll begin here with our first competitor. This is Gabriel Aguirre out of Mexico. So as of right now, in terms of placements, Gabriel is probably Mexico's top classic bodybuilder at the moment. He's
Really?
finished second place in 2 shows already this year. He took second at the Breon Ansley Mexico Grand Battle. And then he also took second at Tijuana this year. So very narrow second place finishes for Gabriel here. I think what really makes him classic is just his balance and proportion. You can see in that back double right there. When we pull up his Instagram here, Jared, what are some things that
Who do you play second to in Tijuana?
uh,
Do you know
trying
if
to remember who
Jorge
won that
Guerrero?
show? I don't know. It might have been,
Was Jorge Guerrero there?
or I think Jorge did that show. He didn't win though. I think Jorge was top 10, but
Yeah, I mean he had to be. He has a insane physique. Like I've actually never seen this guy, but he has amazing symmetry and flow to his physique. Jorge always impresses me a crap load. I watch his YouTube to try to learn Spanish. It's cool. It's fitness content, and I can just learn Spanish from them. But his physique's beautiful. This guy has amazing flow too, so that's tough. I don't know who's Mexico's best. I guess by placing, it's technically this guy, right?
Yeah, this guy, as of this year, he's definitely made a name for himself. So this is about a day ago. And he's one of those guys too, who his condition definitely, it's not like top tier, but if you look at this, I don't think this does him justice. He pulls water very, very quickly. He just kind of
Yeah, I
he
mean,
kind
to
of
to get
transforms
second
over.
to Tijuana, you got to be pretty damn good. So
Yeah. So that
yeah,
is
man,
Gabriel Aguirre right there,
a
guys.
very great structure and flow.
Next up, we got Todd Akers, who last appeared at the Texas Pro, did not place. This is from 6 days out of San Antonio. Jared, just from these couple shots right here, what do you notice about Todd's physique?
Everybody's biceps are better than mine, so I always notice their biceps first. So he has great peaks. Yeah, good flow. He's got one of the kind of like a can't tell if he's got a blockier waist or if he just kind of his legs aren't as bubbly, so it appears that way. But as far as like symmetry, upper lower, it looks pretty damn good. Can't see the back really, but I mean, yeah, man, he's a pro for a reason. He looks pretty good. Where does he train? I feel like I've run into this guy.
He trains at Muscle Factory in San
Oh,
Antonio.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of my friends train out of Muscle Factory, so that's why he looks familiar. He's got a great back.
Yeah. And I don't think this does his condition justice. He was peeled at Texas Pro for sure.
Yeah.
So that's Dr. Todd Akers. This is kind of what I was referring to in terms of his condition.
Yeah, you're right. Those didn't do him any justice. Fantastic.
Very sharp. There's another guy. I didn't pull him up. I'm gonna have to pull him up here in a sec. It's Hamza Al-Kordi, real quick,
Hamza.
who's
Oh yeah, yeah.
making his pro debut. So got to pull up USA's from last year. So Hamza Al-Kordi, while I pull up his page, turned pro at USA's in 2022. NPC USA's in Class A, I believe. Yeah, so here's Hamza Al-Kordi right here. And I think his upper body's pretty solid just from the stage photos. Lower it could be probably a bit more condition, and that
I
could
can't
just
tell. It's
be,
not on his quads there, so I can't really tell.
yeah, I think
Probably a
it
better
could be
shot if he's
dialed
on
in
his
a little
quads
bit
for sure.
more. Chest, delts, arms look pretty solid.
He didn't hit a back shot in his opening. He's like me.
Saw a little step through classic side try.
Yeah, looks good. This is at USA's.
Yeah, this was at USA's last year.
Yeah, I mean he's got great symmetry, fantastic midsection. I can't tell here. Like he's not on. Like I said, he's not on his quads. I think in that fourth picture over, maybe he hit his quads a little better, or that one maybe. Yeah, yeah. I mean he got good conditioning. A little more condition, and yeah, he's. I mean he's fighting for a top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I think part of it's a product of probably just immature muscle as well. Because I do notice that you'll see a lot of guys, myself included, who don't necessarily they do have the size in the quads, but it's like the quads are the last thing to come in. And it's like when they do, it's so hard to get the sartorius to come in. Like you can have glutes and the whole nine, and then it's like the
Yeah.
quads are in. So
A big part of it too is just where he's placing the pressure. I can tell he's like
yeah.
completely back on his heels. He needs to have like some midfoot pressure there. It would pop it out way better. But if he, I'm sure he's worked on his posing since then. And I'm sure he's going to come in bigger because this was last year. Like, yeah, he looks great.
That is Hamza Al Cordy. Next up, we've got Cody Amy out of Canada, and he took fourth at Chicago last year. So these are some pretty recent photos right here. Uh, let's see, some a little better. Okay, here we go. So these are from a day ago. Jared, when we look at Cody's physique, what are some standout body parts that you notice from him?
He definitely seems to have a pretty decent back. His quads too, man. Like, I'm a big fan of the more shapely quads. He's either posing them really well or he's just got a really good like sweep. But his quads are looking really good. He's probably a taller guy, 5'9". He's 212 there, so I assume his weight cap is the one right below mine. He probably has to be what would that be, 190 or 207 or something? What is it now? I don't remember. They raised it
And
all.
for 5'9", I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, 207 or something maybe. So I mean, 5'9". He's got pretty filled out legs. He's gonna be a taller guy. He looks great, man. Biceps, lats from the front look good.
Yeah, I think you touched on it. The width is what does it for me. I think he's got a
Yeah,
very solid width. Got the wide clavicles,
yeah,
especially through the lats. Just
100%. A great front
that's
double.
Cody Amy. Next up, we've got Anthony Barbera the third, won Atlantic Coast last year and went to the Olympia. Probably one of the sharpest guys in terms of condition in the entire
100%.
IFBB. Jared, you've had the pleasure of competing against Barbs before. What
Yeah.
stands out to you about him?
Conditioning is absolutely insane. Beautiful shape, great poser. He'll definitely be in my top five. Uh, yeah, we'll see how he brings it. He's competed once or twice this year already, I think. Um, and he just gets sharper and sharper as the season goes on. So him being as sharp as he was, like I'm gonna definitely bank on him being in the top five, pretty high up there. So
Yeah, plus he's got more room to work with in terms of the classic weight caps, and he
yeah,
doesn't.
it's crazy because he already came in like I thought he was filling his cap out, and he told me he was a couple pounds under. I was like, what the hell? See, look, he looks muscular. Like he looks muscular in person.
Yeah, Barbs is definitely going to be a top contender here in this lineup. So it's Anthony Barbera the third. Next up, we got Terrence Bonds, who took 12th at Texas in his pro debut. Guy's got a big frame, just very muscular,
Holy shit.
and very impressed with his physique. Jared, what are some shots that stand out to you here?
Oh man, anytime so like with me, anytime, and that's probably everybody with lagging body parts or stuff that doesn't come in as condition. So like I said, I have glute striations at like 2 weeks out, and then I completely ruin it with like a water cut. So anytime somebody has glute striations like this, I'm just like, holy shit. Him from the back is absolutely insane. He's a taller guy, you said?
I think he's about 5'9" or 5'10". I could be wrong, but
He's a big
he's
boy.
a
He's got
big
great,
dude.
great hamstrings. Back shots are insane. If he, it's good that he's hitting his adductors here, but if he could squeeze hit his glutes better there too. I don't think they're too much of a fan of that. And a lot of people are kind of like learning how to hit their adductors finally, but then they lose their glutes instead of kind of the classic old, like the 212 guys who just squeeze the hell out of your glutes. Don't worry about the adductors. There's like a happy in between. And I think people are still trying to find that. So if he can hit his adductors and his glutes at the same time in that back double, that's going to be right on par with like Anthony and Jorge, Courage, all these guys. Because that's some good conditioning right there. Holy shit.
The density really stands out to me too. Lots of
And his
muscle.
lower, especially, man. Like his back is insane. And then you look at his adductors and his back shot, and you're like, what the hell's going on back there?
So that's Terrence Bonds, guys, making his second pro appearance here at San Antonio. Next up, we got Phil Bowman, who is making his pro debut. He's a Masters Classic Physique pro. And here is where he turned pro, and this was at the 2022 NPC Teen Collegiate Masters Nationals in Class B 45 plus. So, I mean, I think he's got really solid shape, very balanced. I
Yeah.
think, and I do believe he's coached by David Demesquita,
Oh, cool.
if I'm not mistaken. I know he was
Right.
at
Yeah, I
one
think I ran
point.
into these guys backstage since I was there.
Yeah, really solid physique. I think the condition could probably be a touch better.
Yeah, I mean that's really like obviously his shape's great. He's it's like when I go on stage, like I go into the show and we're like, oh, Jared's shape's so good. If he can just nail his conditioning, he's gonna do fantastic. Same thing, just like this guy just has to get much leaner than this if he wants to be competitive, and that's really it. Like he has great shape, legs are great, he's hitting his poses well. If he can just get super fucking shredded, like top 10, like that's it's hard to say because like any of these guys can be in the top 10 any given day. It's just who's showing up out of shape and who's showing up in shape. That's
Yeah,
the number one thing in any of these shows.
100%. So that's Phil Bowman making his pro debut. Next up, we got Harold Bright, and
My
this
man.
guy just amazes me, man. He's
Me
50
too.
years old, and he is this big, this conditioned. This is at Optimum where he took ninth. Dude is just massive.
He got fourth at my pro debut and I got fifth. And I can confirm he's massive. He's still hanging in there with everybody, man. Like if he brings what he brought at Dallas Europa, where I did my pro debut, like he's gonna kick some butt. He can hang in there with us. Like it's just wild, man.
Yeah,
I
he
love
was supposed to
the guy
do
too. He's super
Texas.
pleasant. He's so pleasant. It's fun to run into him at shows. He's super fucking nice. But yeah, man, he's got a huge back, and like these pictures do it no justice. When he took his shirt off for check-ins, I was like, "Is Ronnie Coleman here? What is this?"
That is Harold Bright Jr. All right. Next up, we got Kelly Burke, who is making his first appearance in over half a decade.
Oh,
So I really actually like this front relax for him. This is a really solid pose, in my opinion. So this is at the 2017 San Antonio Pro. He placed 15th there. Or no, this is at the Chicago Pro, excuse me. The 2017 Chicago Pro, where he placed 15th. But it's been quite a while since he's competed, and it's tough to really know what to expect when somebody stepped away from the stage for so long. 6 years is a long, long time and can really just make a difference in your physique. And on his Instagram, he doesn't really post a whole lot of physique updates. So it's really tough
yeah,
to know what we're going to see out of Kelly Burke. But I,
I think
I
he
was
had
really
like
impressed by his upper body here.
yeah, definitely. I think he had one old video or a stage video that he had posted.
We go check that out.
Yeah, right here. Like he had amazing shape there. And this is a long time ago. So if he's improved on this as far as shape goes, I mean, I don't know where he'll land because I this is obviously a blurry video, but his shape is fucking beautiful. Like,
Spectacular shape.
so yeah, if he comes in condition and he's more muscular than this, I mean, clearly he's gonna have his same shape. He's top 10 for sure. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Kelly Burke, guys. Next up, we got Bernardo Costa, and I know
this
this is
guy,
a friend of
asshole.
yours.
Yeah, he is. He's a friend of mine.
So he took sixth at Optimum, didn't place at Texas, but I do think he's improved as the season has gone on this year.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Bernardo?
First of all, like I said, just completely terrible human. But aside from that, just kidding, Bernardo. I love you, man. Um, Bernardo is gigantic in person. Like one of those guys, 6'2", 6'3". His biceps are bigger than my head. He has like Arnold metrics. Like if you were truly going for like what classic is, Bernardo is exactly that. Like his shape, his structure, his quad size versus arm size, like versus what everything that they were looking for to begin with in classic physique. Bernardo fits that criteria perfectly. Like look at his chest. It's gigantic. His arms are gigantic, and his quads, they're like, as far as symmetry goes, upper to lower, he could have a bigger lower, and he knows that. But like, if you're looking for the classic physique, that's it.
Very
That's
golden
all
era
he needs.
esque.
If he comes in super fucking peeled, I think this could definitely be the show where like he finally catches the judge's eye
Mhm.
and they start placing him where he should be placed. Because if he can bring glute striations, I've seen him lean before. Like when we turned him pro, he was shredded completely from the back. Because I coached him for a while. I coached him into his pro card. Um, if he can get that conditioning again with the new size he's put on, he's dangerous.
Absolutely. I think Bernardo's got a beautiful physique, and like you said, just kind of reminds you of that 70s, 80s golden era type of classic physique. So that is Bernardo Costa out of Texas. Next up, we got a guy who is very dangerous in this lineup. Hasn't really performed up to the standards that had been set for himself, kind of going into this year. He did have a few top fours early in the year at Pittsburgh and New York,
Mid
and
USA.
kind of slipped a little bit too. But he was an Olympian last year. This is Camilo Diaz out of Colombia, and just brings that hard, grainy, nasty, dense muscle. Jared, what are some characteristics of his physique that really stand out to you?
He has amazing shape and symmetry, especially after competing with him at Mid USA. Um, Also just to his character, he's a great dude. But amazing upper lower symmetry. I don't know how he gets as the seasons go on. If he improves, he's top three. If he's getting worse, I don't know. At Mid USA, he was really good, and I think he got fourth. I could be wrong. Jeremiah got second, he got fourth, and no, maybe he got third. Well, he looked amazing in person. It's insane. Like none of these guys, the pictures don't do their conditioning justice. Him, Jeremiah, both of them. Like I was standing off to the side of my whatever placing I got 13th while they're doing the top five, and I'm just looking at them like, what is going on back there in their hamstrings? And both of them just had like veins coming from under their glutes into their hamstrings. Like conditioning is out of this world. Out of this world.
Yeah, him and Aceto always bring a crazy package to the stage. I love Camilo's physique, and like you said, just a class act, super nice guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him at Pittsburgh this year. Just a really good dude.
Yeah. I
Next
like
up,
him.
we got Jorge Guerrero out of Mexico, and this is one of Mexico's top classic bodybuilders. I
100%.
love that side try. Jared, what do you like about his physique?
Man, again, just the flow symmetry of his physique is absolutely impressive. I'm always impressed by big backs because mine is shit. So anytime somebody has a big back or they have glute striations on stage, I'm like, dude, that's a good physique right there, even if it's completely trash everywhere else. But his is actually good everywhere else. So yeah, he's like kind of just the epitome of classic physique, man. I hope that he places where he deserves at this show. I don't know what's happened in the past, if he's just missed peaks or whatever, but his physique is really nice too. Like if you have any other pictures of it a little closer.
Find something a little bit better.
Yeah, also like he has a YouTube video. So if anybody here speaks Espanol, he has a great YouTube channel. It's very informative.
His width is crazy too. I
Yeah,
think
it's,
one
it's
of
nuts.
the
That's what I'm
things
saying.
that
Like his
stands
back is
out.
just
And he took third at Texas in 2022. So he's very capable of
100%.
standing next to Olympians and placing very high, because the only two guys who beat him at Texas last year went to the Olympia last year. So very, very impressive physique from
Yeah.
Jorge. Next up, we got Vince Gentile, who is a Masters pro and last appeared at the Max Fit Pro. So a couple things I noticed is, solid condition, really solid arms and delts. Uh, I do think it might be a little tough for him in this lineup, though, just given the depth of the lineup and the size of some of these guys. But Vince has a very impressive physique, especially for a Masters pro. You see the glute
Yeah.
striations there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's him with Nick Walker blessing
That's cool.
Kai. So Vince,
Yeah, I agree. He's a very solid physique for a Masters competitor. Where did he turn pro?
I'm not sure where he turned pro, but he last did the Max Fit.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is at Masters Worlds
Yeah, okay. That's probably why he
last
looks
year.
familiar. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So that is Vince Gentile. Speaking of Masters pros, you got one of the OGs, probably one of the best 60 plus Masters pros here. This is Jim Holcomb from Atlanta. Just looks insane for over 60.
He's 60 years old.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. My man.
Dude looks crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I saw his like ab shots and I was like, Jesus Christ, he has a better midsection than me almost.
Great
Yeah,
lats as well.
yeah, he looks great, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's done very well. In a lot of these Masters Pro shows, you can see it's a really impressive physique. Here's his Instagram. You can follow him here at IFBB _Jim Holcomb.
Yeah, holy crap, man.
Next up, we got Jared Keys, who is starting his sophomore season here in the IFBB. I think he's going to do very well in this lineup, guys. He looks vastly improved from last year, where he had a couple of top fives, including I think fourth at the Warrior Classic and fifth at the Southwest Muscle Classic. And Jared's one of those guys who he definitely uses off season pretty wisely. He's been really dialing in the condition. What are some features of Jared's physique that stand out to you in terms of classic bodybuilding?
Jared is first and foremost like again, awesome dude. Talk to him quite often. Anytime I run to him at a show, he's super nice. Saw him at Texas last year in person. Amazing. And like you said, he used his offseason to his full advantage. He knows what poses look good for his physique. Like the vacuum in his front double is fucking amazing because he's so damn wide. He's like his lats where they insert the way they look, like that's a damn good front double right there. He definitely put in work in his off season. Back's great, biceps are great, and he's improved his upper lower symmetry so much since I've known him and talked to him over the last few years. I mean, tough to crack the top five in this lineup. He's picking shows that are tough, which is what I respect a lot about him. Like he knew this was going to be a tough ass lineup, and he always does that. And I think that that's really cool. I think that we should all do super duper hard shows to see where we fall. Like what's the point if not? So I mean, he's definitely top 10 and probably closer to like top 7, maybe top 8. But I don't cracking top 5 here would be very, very hard just because there's so many. Camilo's an Olympian, Kurt is an Olympian, like Anthony, like this that's tough.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a tough one. I'll be intrigued because he and I have been talking a little bit, and he hasn't had a whole lot of carbs yet. So I'm really intrigued to see what happens when carbs go back in and he starts to really fill out. Because this he told me this is like 100 grams of carbs. So
Jesus. No, he's and like he like I said, anybody comes off in that top 10 and the placings are so different.
yeah.
You have to bring the condition at this level. Otherwise, you end up where I end up, and that's outside of the top 10 half the time. So he's bringing it clearly.
Jared Keys. Next up, we've got an Olympian. I think he's won, I want to say 5 pro shows,
Number
including
6.
Texas and Tampa last year. Definitely one of the best bodybuilders in Texas, regardless of division. One of the most accomplished guys in Classic. 5th place at the Arnold or this past year, actually. It's Courage Opara, and this is an update from today. Just a crazy looking update. Jared, what do you see here, man?
I mean, I'll just say it now. This is what he looks like at the show or better. He's winning. Like Courage, we're gifted a few things at birth. And one of those things is our shape genetics. I used to literally get Courage and Keon mixed up when they competed in Classic together. Like that's how beautiful his shape and his front double is. It's like it resembles Keon. And you put them two next to each other, dude, some of the best front doubles I've ever seen in my life. Like if I've never seen Courage like this from the back. If he brings this or better, and they don't just try to like pump him full of fluids and carbs and all that shit, like this right here could win the show. This is insane. Like I've never seen Courage this dug out before. He looks great, and he's caught his upper body up to his lower body somehow. How the hell did he do that?
Yeah, I have no idea, man. I think might be working some magic there with Andrew Vu.
They're kicking butt, man. Seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this is my first place prediction, and just I mean, outside of that, his shape is just some of the most beautiful shape I've ever seen.
Courage Opara. Definitely one of the favorites here.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Andre Porter, who last appeared at the Masters World Championships this year, where he took ninth in the 40 plus division. And I really like his shape. He definitely has that like golden era-esque type of physique. Jared, what do you think, man?
He's got great quads. He said he was what was it, 40 what?
He's over 40.
Blows my mind, man. These guys are insane. Yeah, he has phenomenal lower body. His quads are really big. Back looks great. If he brings better conditioning, this was the Masters World Championships this year.
Yeah, this
So
year.
he's had 4 weeks, 5 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that, to
Yeah.
improve on this conditioning.
September it was like the start of September. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll probably be pretty damn lean going into this show. So bringing, I mean, his shape with a slightly less body fat.
Yeah, it'll be impressive. That is Andre Porter. Next up, we've got a guy who hasn't been talked about a whole lot, but I think definitely deserves some credit here. This is Ruben Lopez Reyes, who went to the Olympia last year off of points. He's from Spain, and he took fifth at the Europa Pro in a very deep lineup last week. This is footage from that show. And this guy is just dug out. I think he's probably one of the most classic guys in this lineup, just from a sheer structure standpoint. Going to see if we can find some like even just him standing here is nuts.
Yeah, he looked really great on stage at the European show. That
This
front
is,
double is nuts. That's a great front double.
yeah, this is from Prague last year.
Yeah, I mean, he got great symmetry. He's conditioned as hell. So it's, I mean, interesting, man. Like I said, it's gonna be tough to pick a top five.
Yeah, I'll
But
be very intrigued to see him in front of some American judges
yeah,
because
for sure.
there is a bit of variance sometimes when European guys come here or American guys go overseas. So I'll be pretty intrigued to see kind of how that dynamic plays out. Next up, we've got Oshanda Roden, who's making his pro debut. This is from when he won the Amateur Olympia in 2020. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he might be natural. This guy is just like insane looking. Just got a lot of pop. If he's not natural now, he was natural for a long time. But this dude just has crazy, crazy delts and arms.
Yeah, I've worked with some crazy naturals, so I wouldn't say he's not.
Yeah, just insane shape and structure. I think he has kind of that like old school 70s type of look. Um There's a back shot from that.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I think
think
he's gonna get
if
out
anything,
muscled.
the back needed to
Yeah,
come up.
he's gonna get out muscled, but he's gonna come in looking pretty damn good. Like his shape is amazing. He has great symmetry upper lower. Um, Quads are really good, back's really good, but I think he'll get out muscled a little bit. But yeah, he's gonna look absolutely phenomenal. He looks like a pro, obviously.
Yeah. So that is Oshanda Roden. Next up, we got definitely one of the favorites here. This is Jeremiah Willies. He took second at Mid USA. I think he's got like that 90s-esque type of classic look. Just a beautiful physique. Jared, you had the pleasure of competing against him at Mid USA. What do you think about him?
Like I said, man, at this show, just sitting off to the side, him like from the back, it's just the crazy shit. I wish that these pictures could do it justice. Like if he comes in as sharp as he was there, it's going to be tough. He placed higher than Camilo at that one. Um, he's definitely in my top five. His shape's beautiful to see. It's beautiful in person, seriously, and he was a really nice guy too. But that front double it's classic as hell. It looks great.
Jeremiah Willies out of Riverside, California. Next up, we got a Canadian, Kellen Wilson, who last appeared at Vancouver in 2022, where he took
Muscle.
ninth. These are some impressive shots.
He got some muscle. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think he's got great lines. I love his lines, especially that. I love that classic side try on. I hope he pulls that out for the favorite classic. That's a really good shot for him.
Do you know his weight cap and how tall he is and stuff?
I have no idea,
That's what
honestly.
tells a lot of these guys. Does he have a back shot?
We'll find one.
No back shots.
There's a twisting.
Yeah, he looks conditioned.
Whew. I like that shot a lot too.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, he's conditioned.
Oh yeah, his back is. He probably actually has one of the better backs in this lineup, in my opinion. Just looking at his
Damn.
stage shots.
Damn. Yeah, he
He's
looks
one of
great.
those guys who's like a sleeper for first call out. He
Oh,
could
seriously.
call out. He's got the structure.
He does, man. Great arms, great biceps. That's a great front double for him. Uh, Not exactly like a half vacuum. It looks great.
Yeah, very proportionate too. So that's Kellen Wilson out of, I believe, Vancouver, Canada. And lastly, we got Mark Zamora,
Oh,
who
Mark.
took ninth at the San Antonio Pro in 2021. Jared, what are your thoughts on his physique, man?
I actually competed with him in Nationals 2020. Has an insane back. Um,
See if we can get that.
oh, they ended it right there on the last one. You can probably see how dense. Oh, there it is too.
See, here we go. Here's a back shot.
Yeah, he has a great back. If he like depressed his scapula there, you could see how good his erectors are too. Well, yeah, he amazing shape, classic structure. If he comes in super duper conditioned, um, easily top 10.
That's a great shot.
Because he's a big dude in person. Like I was in class C, but I was probably the shortest guy in class C. I think he was about an inch taller than I was. So he's got a big structure. And he's super broad, wide clavicles. And if he comes in condition, like he's a threat, man. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, I love that front double. The lats and the quads, kind of that hourglass looking shape in the front shots. So hard to get in classic, and that's what you look for. So that is Mark Zamora, and that is our entire classic physique lineup, guys. Now we will get into the highly anticipated predictions. Jared and I are going to give our top five and our winners. Jared, as the special guest, I'll let you choose the format. Do you want to do like a alternating top five, or do you want to do like a clean sweep?
Do you have like top five for real? Like who do you think is gonna like be in
Yeah,
fifth?
I got a fleshed out top five.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Can't tell you that kind of stuff because half the guys, all competitors out there. This is a public service announcement. Post shit. You guys want the IFBB to pay us more money? Well, you're hiding your physique all year. What are you doing? Like, post your updates, man. People want to see that shit. Fans of bodybuilding give a shit about that stuff. It's a new day and age. I get it. You're old school. You're hardcore. You don't want to do it. Post stuff up, man. People love it. They love it. They love following it. They want to see what you look like close to shows. They want to see what you look like when you're fat. Like, it doesn't matter. If you want to be paid more in this sport, you got to treat it as if, like, it's not just getting on stage. It's also, like, people want to see you. The fans want to see you. Like, do those types of things. So I'm not able to tell you, like, exactly because most of these guys, they just cover up. They post old stuff. It just depends. But I can tell you, like, who I know is likely winning the show and maybe
Here's what
second.
we could do. I have an idea. What we could do is just give a messy first call out, and then we
Yeah.
could do a winner. How's that sound?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Cool, man. So start out. We'll just throw some names out for first call out. So I think probably so I'll give a name. So Jeremiah Willies. I definitely see him in that first call out.
Yeah, I see first call out being pretty big, honestly. Um, I see it being like 6 to 8 people most likely. Jeremiah's obviously in that 100%.
Yeah, I definitely think Jeremiah's got a fantastic physique. Took second at Mid USA, which was a really deep lineup. So
Who's
definitely
that guy?
in there.
Who's that guy from Spain you showed me? Ruben? Was that his
Ruben
name?
Lopez Reyes. Yeah, he was fifth at Europa. And as you guys
Guys.
know, Europa was super deep.
Yeah.
super deep last week.
If they do like a 7-8 man first call out, he's in the first call out too.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So is the Canadian guy, Kellen.
Kellen, yeah. Very classic structure, great condition. I think another guy too who could be in that call out is see. I'm gonna say Jared Keys. I think he very well could be in that first call out. Definitely, it's a tough lineup, but man, I think Jared's improved quite a bit. And I think with a little bit of extra carbs added, because he told me this is flat right here. So I think with some extra carbs, it's gonna do him quite well. And he's got a lot more pop to his muscle than a lot of guys do, just genetically. So I think Jared's going to be one of those guys who could, crack that first call out for sure.
Yeah, I think like if there's an 8-man first call out, I could definitely see him in there. I don't know. If they just do a top five, I don't think he'll be in the top five. I would love for him to prove me wrong because I think he's a fucking great dude. And every time I've seen him, he's improved on stage. And if they really take that kind of shit into consideration, like he should be placing really well.
Some other guys that I'm thinking of, probably Camilo Diaz.
Camilo Diaz for sure.
Yeah.
Anthony for sure.
Here we got Barbs. I can find Barbs. Here we go. There's Barbs.
Uh-huh.
Courage Opara definitely has to be in that conversation as well.
Courage. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that's a rough first call out. Do you think that sounds good?
I do. I think that's probably. I think they'll probably do a 7 to 8 man first call out. I have Ruben, Kellen, Courage, Anthony, Camilo, and Jeremiah for like a top 6.
So who is your winner, Jared?
Courage. I mean, just flat out. I don't. That if this is what he's looking like right now, this is. I've never seen him like this, and I've seen him win harder shows.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more. I think he's the most complete guy in this lineup. He does not have one single weak body part.
Oh, and like I said, he caught his upper up somehow. Like his quads were always so damn dominant, and he just looks proportional. This is one of the most impressive check-in photos I've seen in a very long time from anybody. Like, this is impressive as hell.
Yeah, these are just some nutty photos. The glute striations were and the hamstring pianoing are things we haven't necessarily seen from Courage in the past. So we might see the best version of Courage Opara.
I really hope so, man. It's going to be impressive.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one, guys. Again, if you guys want to stream the show, make sure you check it out here at Tim Gardner Productions. And then also, before we get going, I want to make sure to, again, thank my special guest, Jared Feather. Go follow him here on Instagram. Jared_Feather is his tag. And then also give him a subscribe on YouTube. Check him out at Jared Feather RP. And before we get going, Jared, again, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for your time. Do you got anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, Brent, let me say thank you to you for continuing to do this. I know how hard working your ass off like this is when you're this close to a show. Kick some ass. I'm excited to see it. Walking the walk and talking the talk, man. I love it.
Appreciate you, man.
How close?
Just about 2.5 weeks from
2.5 weeks out. Competent enough to look up Instagram profiles and talk about bodybuilding.
Well, productive rest day habits, So
100%, man.
didn't have much else to do. Got my cardio done this morning and posing, so we're just chilling out tonight.
Hey, we got this scheduled last minute. That's the we got it in.
Yep. So that's going to do it for the San Antonio Pro preview. Again, thanks to my special guest, Jared Feather. This is Brant signing out for CPC Bodybuilding. Make sure you guys keep it classic. We'll see you later.